right, here we go. Welcome back to the Game Smash Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Room Liberty, and with me is...
Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we got some stuff. We got the final character revealed for DBC Fighters. We got the Blaze Blue XT whatever shit show. We've got Nintendo Labo. And we got Street Fighter Arcade Edition finally launches. So I have a lot that I did this week, so I'm going to let you take it away first. So what did you do this week, Fawaz?
Okay, so I realized that Persona 5 is a very long game.
Yeah.
Actually, crap, we can't talk about this on the podcast because it's like all the spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally beat the casino.
Okay, cool.
And I will say that they handled that plot twist very well.
Yes.
Because there was a roller coaster of emotions involved, because there was a point where I kind of thought I saw, like early in the game, I was like, okay, I think I know. I can't talk about this at all.
Well, I know, but it's like I can help you dance around it. Basically, there's a moment where you see a person or a character and you go, I don't know, and then the hints are all kind of leading up to going, it's gotta be that. And then it flips the reveal in such a creative way that my expectations were blown out of the water with how that ended up transpiring, that end sequence.
Yeah.
Because and I talked about how I fucked it up and how I got the game over. I got the secret bad end out of that scenario because there's a secret bad end. If there's a particular dialogue option that if you choose in that sequence, you will get the bad end because you essentially fuck up. Sorry? Can you say that again?
Can you skip dialogue option? Is it like a massive spoiler for?
It is. It kind of is. It's basically how much information are you willing to reveal to Sai? And
so if you don't reveal a lot of. Or if you reveal too much, right?
Yeah, if you reveal too much to Sai, then she will go, oh, okay, thanks, I got everything I need. And then she leaves the room, and then it goes, you fucked up. And I really like how it fakes you out in the sense where you think the way that it's supposed to go is that you think you actually got the fuck up ending, but then it's like, nah, you didn't get the fuck up ending, and it's great. It's a great little twist.
Yeah. So I cleared that. It's really really good stuff. The dialogue, and I think I don't know if I mentioned, the dialogue is like way too exposition-y. Good gracious. Like, this is one thing that I feel like just Japan in general.
Oh yeah. I mean, like it is a Japanese thing, for sure.
They just don't know how to weave exposition into the story. Like, there's a scene where these two villains literally sit down and just explain everything. Like, they just explain all the way. They're like, oh, wasn't it so cool that we met each other at this specific date, like 20 years ago. Oh yeah, and it's a good thing that I was doing this research, but I have to cancel this research. And I'm like, why would they be having this conversation? They both know this, and that's.
I know. That's definitely a Japanese thing. I totally get what you're saying, and it's one of those things where there's a lot of like, there's a lot of necessary information. And one thing I will say, because I actually rewatched a couple of those sequences, there is a lot that does get explained, like in piecemeal. But you can miss it. And that, I think, is part of the problem, is that there's a lot of characters that you can walk around the world that give you little pieces to the puzzle, and it feels more natural when you get the information from them. But then they realize, I think there's this problem in which it's like, well, shit, not everyone talks to the NPCs. There's people that gun the story, and then it's like they're going to miss out on that information. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword in how they do it. I have been waiting to make this joke, so please let me do this before we continue. Okay. It's just, when you're playing Persona 5, right? And you're just, every time I go back to it, I get a craving. Just a craving for some just a huge stack of delicious pancakes. Just a big stack. It's just every time. It's weird. For some reason, just the maple syrup, the delicious fluffy flavor. Oh man, just every time. I just want to sit down in the morning. So good.
Yeah, well, if you want to get Tanner's joke, I guess you're just going to have to make it 80 hours into the time. So you better.
I waited a year to make that joke. A whole year. Just has Fawaz gone to that part of the game? Nope. All right, gotta shut up. All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
good stuff. So I'm in the ship. So I'm pretty sure I'm either in the last palace or I'm in like the second to last palace. So I'm probably honestly, if I had to guess, and you don't have to tell me, if I don't tell me, if I had to guess, I'd probably say I'm in the last palace. And if there is another palace, it's one of those like extra palaces that you don't actually have to do. But we'll see. If I had to guess, I'd say one or two, probably one.
I could literally tell you if you want.
Nah, it's fine.
Nah, it's fine. Okay, I'll let the mystery continue.
But yeah, so I played a little bit of that. Then of course the Dragon Ball Fighters beta happened, the open beta. So I played a bit of that. There's no training mode, so I couldn't practice. So I was playing online. I was mostly just using auto combos because I couldn't do actual combos. So I'll go through the pros and the cons from what I played. We'll go with the cons first because I feel like you want to end on the good, and I feel like there was more good than bad. So I want to end on the good. So the cons. First of all, the damage. So the damage the damage itself isn't low, right? The scaling on supers. Now, do you know what damage scaling is, right?
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry. So the scaling on supers, I think, is too high. I think it's way too high. Like, there's a certain point where there's no point in finishing your. Okay, you know what? Let me rephrase that. It seems too high right now. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out, right? But the damage overall doesn't seem too bad. The issue is that a lot of things, like when you do you build a lot of blue health for your opponent. So if they tag out and you don't snap them back in, they will heal. Like you do a combo that does 50%, but only 20% of that was permanent. So then they tag out and they heal back that 30%, and that combo you did only ended up only doing 20%, right? So there's that. But this is like it's way too early. The one thing that I know, okay, let me not say I know because everything changes. But the one thing that definitely seems like I'm going to dislike is they have this mechanic in the game called quick tag, right?
Yeah.
How it works is that you press forward and hit the tag button, but you press forward and hit the assist button, and it will tag into that assist.
Yeah.
Do I need to get into why this is a problem? So literally, okay, now this happened less the more I started playing, but literally my first like 3 matches, I would get a knockdown, I would dash, and try to call an assist while I'm dashing. Oh, would you look at that? Boo is in. Well, oh shit.
Okay. So a lot of accidental, like just call in your team or something.
Because yeah, you want to do a setup, right? You do like crouching, like instant air dash forward, assist call. Oh wait, would you look at that Frieza thing? And the fact that I'm watching people who've been playing this plus with the closed beta plus the open beta, have been playing for like 40 hours, still getting tags that they didn't want. Tells me that there's probably an issue with this mech. And I understand why they added it. There's 2 ways to tag. With the quick tag, or you can hold down the button and then that tags. The issue with holding down the button, this is an issue that I ran into in Marvel 3, is if you hold down so you have to hold down the button for, let's say you have to hold it down for 3 seconds, right?
Right, yeah.
Hold it for 3 seconds because your character is about to get murdered, right?
Right.
So you hold it down, and at 2 seconds, your character gets killed. No tag for you, you know? Yeah. So I understand why they have the quick tag mechanic. I just don't like the input. Maybe it's just something I'm just going to have to get used to, right? I'll find an option so like it helps me not raw tag in all the time. And like I said, it happened a lot less the more I played, so we'll see. Yeah. The other thing that I'm kind of not liking is Sparking Blast. So it's the game's X Factor.
Right, okay.
So when you pop it, you start healing back your blue health, and you do extra damage. I think it's 20%. Right. So the issue is that you heal during combos.
Okay.
Which is stupid. Like, I just think it's flat out stupid because there's a certain point in the combo where your hits are doing so little damage that you are not hurting them. They're healing more than you're doing damage, and I think that's like so stupid. They changed it a little bit before. They would heal during cinematics, so you would do like Cells level 3, and he's charging up his Kamehameha with that shit-eating grin on his face, healing everything back, right? And it was so fortunate they took that out, but I still think that healing during combo seems silly. But once again, all of these things, I'm looking at all these things in a vacuum, right? More specifically, I'm looking at all these things in Marvel 3, right?
Yeah, you're looking at it because you're thinking of your experience in Marvel 3, and then you're thinking of this experience that you're having with Dragon Ball Z, and then there's like comparisons that can be made, and then it's like there's certain things that you want out of this that you're not getting, or like there's like gameplay gimmicks that are in this that you feel are frustrating personally. But I get it.
Yeah, but the one thing that I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, was the biggest issue with the beta was the fact that it didn't work.
Yeah, because like literally, I was like, "Hey, Fawaz, how's the beta?" I haven't got on yet. I'm like, "Oh, hey, I got on. Oh, I can't play any matches. Cool."
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing. People always defend. There's always that defense that people say it's a beta, right? It's not supposed to work. That is true to an extent. Saturday was a complete shit show. Nobody could get in, right? There was a joke going around that everybody's going to have a pocket Krillin and Goku by the time the beta's over, because people were just in training mode, just messing up. Not training mode. There's like a tutorial. People were just in the tutorial, and in the tutorial you could only use Goku, Krillin, and Kid Gohan.
Okay, I want to talk about how I found that exceedingly annoying, but I kind of understand why they did that, because the problem was because here's the thing. The reason why my team consisted of Goku, Krillin, and just a rando was because those were the only characters I could consistently get into training and see their moves. Yeah. So it was like, this is my team, because these are the only ones I can practice with. And I just went to the one where you practice like knocking people cinematically out of the map and stuff like that, and I just practiced combos and shit like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was as bad as it was on PS4. It was even worse on the Xbox. It didn't work at all. It didn't work at all on the Xbox. They had to actually have another open beta. Here's how it went. Mm-hmm. So they had the open beta weekend. That was a shit show. Friday, the early access day was good. Mm-hmm. Saturday, nobody got to play, and then Sunday it was good on PS4. The entire period was trash on the Xbox One. People played like twice the whole weekend. Like one dude was like, he sat there for 20 hours, got one game, right? Mm-hmm. Then they were like, okay, this was a shit show. We're gonna have another beta. So they had another beta during the week, but that beta was only for PS4. Xbox One was offline only. Then because I'm guessing they hadn't fixed the Xbox One servers yet. So then later on they had another beta. This one exclusively for the Xbox One, and apparently this one was a little better. So on one hand, the beta was a shit show, but on the other hand, it was good on them, especially because they ended up having like 5 betas in like 2 weeks, as opposed to they were having 3 separate betas in 2 weeks versus the one that they were planning on having. Yeah. So shout out to them for that. And I was gonna say it should have worked in the first. But I'm like, well, it's a beta, so there's that argument. At least, they're putting the effort in. Now, if the servers are still shit at launch, then, it's like, well, now you guys are just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of positives, and I think there are a lot of positives. So, the most basic one is that the game is just fun to play. It just feels good. Like, I know that's a very abstract thing to say, but it's the truth. Movement is smooth. Air dashing. They simplify a lot of the inputs, so like some of the things are not as tight as they are in Guilty Gear, but I think that works to the game's benefit because I can't remember who it was. I think it was Seth Killian that said that players should be fighting against their opponents, not the controller. So
yes. Okay, I want to. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to make a big point about this game right out the bat. Is that as someone who has struggled with trying to get into fighting games for so long, it was so refreshing that when I picked this up, I felt like I was actually doing the moves. I felt like I was actually, I was getting inputs. The auto combo system helped out a lot. But I felt like it was a smooth transition, because a lot of things that are very intimidating is that you get something like Guilty Gear. Like I popped in Guilty Gear Xrd and I was like, what the, how did it, what? And it's just so overwhelming. And I like the fact that like the supers are like relatively consistent. Like they're all across the board. Like everyone has like, it's either quarter circle, circle, or quarter circle triangle, or like R2 or R1. And it's relatively easy to kind of find like the moves just to play as a, like, just as a beginner. It was surprising. I was really surprised at how smooth the transition of like getting a player who doesn't know a lot about fighting games in general to kind of smooth them into the experience. I think there's a lot that can be said about that with this game, more than anything.
Yeah, thank you very much, because like I feel like a lot of fighting game players forget just how difficult these games actually are. I've been playing fighting games for like 25 years, like it's second nature. Quarter circle forwards, quarter circle backs, 720s, they're all second nature to me, right?
Yeah.
But like I forget that at the time when I was like 5 years old, me and my brothers would just sit down, and a match, quote unquote, would be us just sitting there trying to get the inputs out.
Yeah.
We'd just be sitting there with our controllers, just mashing, trying to get Hadoukens or Shoryukens. Like, oh shit, I got like 3 Hadoukens that game. It's a good day. Mm-hmm. We weren't even trying to fight. So yeah, I give them credit for this, because here's the thing. Okay, so I put them in lists, so I'll get the other combos later. But yeah, the characters aren't as unique as Guilty Gear, but they are unique, which is one thing that a lot of people were complaining about. Well, like the characters felt similar, and I say this with the utmost respect. If you play this game and you think the characters play similar, then you don't.
They look on paper. It's like, well, everyone's got the fucking Kamehameha. They're all the same, and it's like, well, no, it's not that they all just have Kamehameha. It's that they have other moves and gimmicks to each other. And the other thing that somebody pointed out on the Reddit list, which is shocking, is that Arxis has actually put a lot of time into making sure that each character has a distinctive look to them, and so that you instantly know, oh, that's Yamcha. Oh, that's Goku Black. Oh, that's regular Goku. And you can tell, like, just from a glance. And they actually, like, somebody pointed out that they change Gohan's gi color is a much darker orange than regular Goku's. And they did that specifically so that you can immediately tell, oh, that shade of orange, here comes Gohan. Or
purple tea.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot to say about, like, how much time that they put into trying to make the characters different, and I can feel that. Like it was fun, like playing when I switched on to Cell. I was like, holy shit, this guy is like, he feels slow, but boy does he hit like a truck. And
his normals are gigantic.
Oh, his normals are so fucking good.
So yeah, like even there, something simple. So the first 6 characters were supposed to be the characters that were most similar, right? And the characters that were the easiest to pick up: Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Cell, Boo, Fat Boo, and Frieza. Even within those 6, there's a lot of differentiation, right? Now, obviously, if you compare it to Guilty Gear, they might as well be the same character, but like, that's not fair. You can't compare any fighting game to Guilty Gear, in my opinion. Every character in Guilty Gear feels like they were built for a different game entirely.
Yeah.
So yeah, the characters are very, very, very unique, and the game actually has a lot of depth, a lot more depth than I think a lot of people thought it was going to have. We'll see, if it's like actual depth, or if it's just, apparent, if it's just trying to be deep. We'll see. The roster has me really excited. We'll get to one of the reasons why I'm really excited later in this podcast, but all in all, there's a lot of characters that I can't wait to hit up training mode with. And one other thing that I was worried about was assists, right? Because in Marvel 3, I feel like there were a lot of strong point characters where issues arose were with the assists. There weren't many good assists in Marvel 3, and then for some reason they nerfed a lot of them going into Ultimate, so you ended up only having like 4 or 5 characters that you could pick for your assists, so you saw a lot of the same 4 or 5 characters. Right. This game right now, obviously, it looks like there's a lot of assists that look like they have potential. We'll see which ones. Not all of them are going to end up being as good as I think they are, but they're gonna be some that I think are trash that are gonna end up being better than I thought they were. So I'm looking forward to that. And to finally get to the auto combos, I think the auto combos were an amazing idea. I I was skeptical about them, not because I was worried that they'd be too strong. I never had any doubts in my mind. There was only like they couldn't turn them off because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want a situation where I accidentally got an auto combo. But what I realized from my limited time with the beta and the limited footage I've seen is that the auto combo. Because here's the thing: every character has a normal attached to an auto combo that they can only get through the auto combo, right?
Yeah.
So what that does is that you have to have the auto combos on all the time, otherwise you lose access to specific normals. So funny story, people have actually started finding combos that are only possible because of auto combos, right? Combo rods that are only possible because of auto combos, and these are like simple combos. These are like complex combos, but like certain elements of the combos are only possible because of auto combos. So ironically enough, it's looking like auto combos are adding more depth to the game's combo system as opposed to taking away.
Taking away, yeah.
Like a lot of people thought. And they don't do a lot of damage. So like that's another thing. Whenever someone comes in auto combos, I'm like, okay, you're bad. Because it's like they don't do any damage and the medium auto combo it just wastes the bar. Like if you're losing to people who use auto combos and spam super dashes, you should probably hit up training mode. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all in all, man, it was a really fun beta. I enjoyed it. I didn't play it as much as I wanted to because there was no training mode. But then like one dude pointed out, he was like, the probably the reason why they didn't put training mode was because of people like me, because it was a stress test on the servers and I would not have stress tested the servers. Like
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
true.
was spending the entire weekend in training mode. Literally all my friends were like, yep, same thing. If they had training mode, I would have been in training mode the whole time because
Because you
you don't
want to
want
learn the game. Like literally, it's like I would like
you don't online and not know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Y-
I'm
eh,
gonna buy the game tomorrow, and I'm gonna spend the whole day in training mode. I'm not gonna go online. Maybe touch story mode, maybe touch arcade mode, maybe try
Oh,
to
I'm
unlock
gonna
random.
touch that fucking story mode or the fucking cutscenes I've seen. I've seen leaks of cutscenes that are the best. That are the best.
Well, it's sad. That's
Oh
all I
my,
can say.
oh my god! Everyone fucking shit on Yamcha. Let's go. Oh my
Yo,
god, that's the.
Yamcha, I think Yamcha is gonna be really good. I try to stay away from early predictions for top tiers because you can never tell, but I'm locking this one in. Yamcha is going to be top tier. He's going to be one of the first characters to get nerfed.
That's the best. That's the best. The concept of Yamcha getting nerfed is the best.
He's like, yeah, man, I've been holding back this whole
All
time.
time.
This
This,
whole
this,
time,
this
all this
30
time.
years. 30 years. Now's my time to shine.
Yeah. But yeah, man, all in all, man, it was a lot of fun. And I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right. So now that we've done with your week, let's talk about my week. This is gonna be a long one. So basically, I want to talk about DBZ because, like, obviously, lot of spillover. I played a lot of DBZ. Game's a lot of fun. I'm surprised at how much fun I'm having because it's like I feel like I feel like I have a chance. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of times where I put a fighter in and I'm like I don't stand a chance. Like I might as well just stay in training mode and not fight a single human being for the rest of my life. So the fact that I actually got a couple games where I won one and it was like a clutch in which I used like Cell's final like super the one where he smiles.
What was the team, by the way?
Sorry, my team.
What
My
was
team
your
was Goku, Krillin, and Cell.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I go like I said, I could only train with Goku and Krillin, so I just I really like Cell, so I'm gonna throw in Cell, and then I was just doing bullshit in game, like literally learn on the fly. That was what I was doing with Cell,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun. So that was really cool. Had a blast with that. Oh shit! What else did I do? Oh, okay. Order. How did I? Oh yeah. Secret of Mana. Continued Secret of Mana with my sister. Finally got past a breaking point where I feel like I'm kind of getting into the groove of the game. Because we were at a. I think honestly we got to a part that really sucked. It was just a level that really sucked because there were enemies that you could only hit with magic and we hadn't figured out how to like we finally figured out what item you need to get to refill your MP bar. And we finally figured that out. It's the walnut, and there was just a boss that like it was just really sucked. Like it really, really sucked because it was basically a wall with eyes, and basically it's a wall with eyes, and you have to like time your hits. Basically, the eye squints and then it opens up fully, and you have to time your attacks for when it opens up fully, or else you won't deal any damage.
Okay.
And the thing is that the middle eye revives the other ones. So you also once you've taken one of the you know what, it actually reminds me of the one of the bosses from Persona 5, the art one, where it's like parts are coming. But that one was actually kind of fun, but this one just felt like really like time consuming. And then there's a phase in which once you deal enough damage, the wall starts pushing you towards spikes, right? And literally, I looked up the guide. Apparently, it is almost impossible to out damage him, in time without magic. So what was happening was is that we would be fighting him, and then we would use our magic to kind of reduce the eyes and try and get them down to low health so we could beat the boss, and then we would be out of magic by the time it switched phases, and then we wouldn't our melee attacks were not dealing enough. Like just flat out not enough damage. So that was a really shitty fight. But once you got past that part, the game opens up a bit. It gets a lot more colorful, a lot more interesting enemies, more interesting bosses. And the game was just like it was almost like it dipped in quality there, but then it rocketed back up. So that was a nice little change of pace. Then I finally beat Nier Automata. Got ending C, D, and E, and oh my god, ending E might be one of my favorite video game endings of all time.
What?
Like flat out, I was shocked with how much I love ending E, and it's like it's just a very small concept that this game has been building up to. And when you get to it, it just feels so good. And the song that accompanies it is perfect. It is perfect. And now I see, yeah, this is the reason why this game won Best Soundtrack. Like, this is the reason. Like, Persona 5 soundtrack is fantastic, and it's great, and it hits all the right beats. But that particular moment, that was the moment where it won Soundtrack of the Year, because it was just glorious. And it's funny how it's weird when there's always some moments in games where it's like I'm shocked at how a single line of dialogue from a game can be so effective and so like hit me on an emotional level. And it's I don't want to spoil it for those who did. I was so happy that I didn't get that spoiled, because if I had, it wouldn't have been as effective. But the fact that I went to that completely blind, I was just blown away. So that was really, really fantastic. And yeah, Nier is a great fucking game. It is by far Platinum's best game for that alone. Like, that is... What? Yes. I'm saying it right now. For me, I know there's going to be people who disagree, but that alone is... This is Platinum's best game. This is Platinum's best game. Like, for me. Because of that, because I've never had that particular, like, a Platinum game had that effect on me. This is a game where I'm used to seeing a sexy girl riding horses and shit. That's the amount of like emotional depth I've come to expect from Platinum. So when this was dropped, I was like a little bit blindsided. Other than that, I finally dipped, after I beat that, I dipped into Splatoon 2.
Okay.
That game's a lot of fun. Flat out, that game's a lot of fun. It's very similar to Splatoon 1, but with one very small caveat, is that I don't have to use that god-awful controller. And the game's great. I haven't touched the single player. Apparently the single player is really, really good, so I want to dip my toes into that as well. But yeah, the game's fun. The only thing, I've never really liked the close system, because it's kind of random, because basically you equip clothes and they have perks. But usually there's like a second slot that's a question mark, and after you gain enough
Okay.
experience, it will randomly unlock a second perk, right? But the problem is
Mm-hmm.
that it's random. So imagine it's basically like if you're playing like imagine you're playing Call of Duty and then you get your kit and then it's like, all right, roll for your perks.
Okay,
So
okay, okay.
it's a little bit like you can customize and re-equip, and there are ways to re-roll the clothes, so it's not like you're stuck with shitty clothes forever. It's just it's a little bit like grindy to a certain extent,
Okay,
but it's still the game is still a lot of fun.
okay.
But that's basically that was my long-winded week. So we got some news. So
Yes. So the like I said, the roster of Dragon Ball Fighters is shaping up pretty nicely. And okay, I'm not gonna go with this segue because I'm going down a dark path. So I'm just
oh
gonna
god.
say Android 21 got revealed. She got officially revealed as playable. She was revealed like a long time ago. However,
Yeah.
plot twist. She's actually a Majin, and an
Yeah.
android. So yeah, they showed her new design, and she's straight up a Majin. She's got the tail and everything completely purple, and she looks pretty cool. All the subreddits that I go to completely lost their shit. The thirst was real, and there's this what's it called, vor. I found out what the word
Oh
vor is.
god. Oh no. Yeah, there would be a lot of war with that. Oh, she eats you and then she spits you out cuz you taste like shit.
Yep. I was like, huh, I want to Google this word. I'm not sure I want to Google this
No,
word,
you
but then I Googled
don't.
it. I'm
Don't make the same mistake I did. I did that with
like,
smegma and I really regretted that.
oh, no. Anyway, so in terms of play style, right?
Yeah.
She's one of the most unique characters in the game. Whew. Okay, so let me catch my breath. So this is how it works, right? She has like her basic moves list and everything. Now she has one move that's a command grab, right? That command grab steals a move from the opponents. Um,
Okay.
Now how it works is that she has eight moves that she can steal. Okay, I was rehearsing this because I was like, this is a lot of information. So she's got four command grabs, right?
Yeah.
Two on the ground and two in the air. She can steal two moves per character, but then she can steal two for the ground and two for the air. So she can steal a Kamehameha and a Solar Flare, and then she can steal it grounded and airborne, right?
Right.
So, of the eight moves that she can steal, they're broken down into four categories, right? There's blue moves, and the blue moves are all you steal them from any character that's related to Goku in some way. So
Mhm.
both Goku Blue, Gohan, both Gohans, Tien Yamcha, Goku Black, and there's probably somebody else that I'm forgetting, but whatever. Then there's a second set of moves. These are the yellow moves. You steal those from Vegeta. So Vegeta, Trunks, Gotenks, and Nappa. Then
Mhm.
there's the green moves. These moves are stolen from the Android.
Yep.
So Android 18, 16, 21, and Cell. And then there's the purple moves that are stolen from the aliens. So everybody else. Boo Boo,
Beerus.
Frieza, Piccolo, Beerus, not an alien, but whatever. Ginyu, and there's probably somebody else I'm forgetting. So yeah, those are the four moves.
Right.
Now, the blue set is a Kamehameha and a Solar Flare. She can steal. Oh, Krillin, that's who I was forgetting from the Goku family. So yeah, so she steals the Kamehameha and the Solar Flare from the blues. She
Mhm.
steals like a barrage. You know the move that Vegeta does when he jumps in the air and he shoots a bunch of fireballs down. She
Right.
steals that, and she steals a command grab from Vegeta. From the android, she steals like some weird fireball moves. It looks kind of trash, but we'll see. And she
Mhm.
steals Android 18's barrier, the one where she absorbs anything. She steals that. Then from the aliens, she steals a slow-moving orb projectile, and it teleports. And the teleport seems really strong because it doesn't track. It's a set distance, right? And you're like, why is that good? Because with the tracking teleports, you can always tell where they're going to to land, right? Because it's like this teleport always goes behind me. This teleport always goes in front of me. So if you can read the tells, you can always tell. But with this one, it's
Mhm.
spacing dependent, right?
Right.
Anyway, I'm getting too in depth. Yeah. So those are the eight moves that she can steal.
Right.
She hits you. Those are the eight moves that she can steal. Then two things. One, she can cancel all her moves into the other move. So if you've stolen since you have 4 slots, right? You have 4 slots, 2 for the ground, 2 for the air. If you have all 4, you can chain all 4 of them together, right? So you
Right.
can do some really, really cool stuff. Like, so you can parry something with Android 18's barrier, and then cancel it into the teleport, so then you teleport out of danger, and then cancel it into Kamehameha or the solar flare to protect yourself or something like that. So you can do like cool little shenanigans like that.
Right.
Finally, she has a move that she always has access to. It's a fireball, right?
Right.
There's a light version that goes straight, the medium version that goes up forward, and the heavy version that uses bar and goes straight. The heavy version it uses up whatever move she's stolen. So if you want to like reset, if you have 4 moves, but you're like, okay, I don't feel like having 2 Kamehamehas and 2 solar flares, I want to get some teleports in here. You do the EX version of the fireball, and she uses up all the moves, and the fireball becomes gigantic, and it does about as much damage as level 1.
Yeah.
So that is episode 21. She looks so cool. I mean, like, she actually.
I adore her design. Like, her design is fantastic. Like, I thought her design, like the original, like just like basic Android design was pretty cool, but this design blows that out of the water. Like, it's a really, really, really stark one.
Yeah, so people were like, oh, maybe we'll get the other design sometime down the line. I was like, that is a possibility until I saw a move list and she uses her tail in a bunch of her moves. So it's like, all right, well, that dream died. It died a quick death.
Well, that was what I thought was kind of weird, is that we're talking about it because it's common knowledge, but I feel like part of the reason why they waited so long is that I feel like this was not supposed to be, like, revealed, almost. I feel like this was meant to be like the secret character that you unlock and everyone loses their shit when they find it in the game or something like that. Because it feels like a spoiler. Because I'm going to be going through the story, and I've seen a clip from the very beginning in which you meet 21, and you're like, oh, let's go help her out. And I'm going to immediately be going, well, I know she's a villain.
I mean, no, to be fair, I don't know about anybody else, but me personally, I don't know. There's just something about her artwork that I always, and everything I've seen her in, she just looks like a villain. She always had this look on her face, this sinister look on her face, and she was always talking about how good people tasted. And I'm like, well, this is either really kinky or she's some kind of villain here.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I guess you got a good point there. I just thought it was weird because it felt like the game was spoiled before the game came out.
Yeah. So they did that with Susanoo. Susanoo in BlazBlue, no one knew he was in the game. They just beat the story. Obviously, the game came out, and then people started posting, hey, there's this character that none of us knew about in the game. Yeah. And it's funny because she is kind of similar to Susanoo. Susanoo's thing was that he starts off the game with only one of his special moves, right. And then as you hit your opponent with special moves, you unlock more of his special moves. Okay. So by the end, you have all your special moves, and he's really, really powerful. Not the same thing, but kind of similar. And yeah, so we have 2 female characters now. We just need one more, and you can have your full team of waifus.
Oh,
but yeah, all in all, man, she's a really, really cool character, and like, I'm glad they decided to go all out, and just because I feel like they played it safe with some characters, which is fair. You don't want to do anything too crazy with Goku, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they went ham with her. Her playstyle looks really cool. I'm excited to play. Unfortunately, you have to beat the story mode to unlock her. So, and the story mode is long.
Really? Because I've been seeing about 4 or 5 hours, which is not particularly
4 or 5 hours. Yeah, that's not particularly long for a video game. That's really long for a fighting game.
That's long for a fighting game, but honestly, like, I thought you were of the caveat that would be, like, too short most of the time.
I mean, for me, me personally, I don't really play fighting game story modes. Of the only things I criticized Street Fighter V for, not having a story mode was not one of them. Right? Me personally,
yeah.
It's not...
Which sucks because, like, for me, the story mode of Street Fighter V was one of the best parts of that game. The fucking Zangief blocking swords with his chest is the best.
The only game whose story mode I actually enjoy is the NetherRealm games. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the fighting game story modes, the story gets too convoluted. BlazBlue story mode, they think about time travel, and everybody's a clone of Noel, and Hakumen and Jin are the same person, and I'm just like, no, this makes any goddamn sense, And simply Tootsie here,
Hey, guess what? That Dragon Ball is gonna fit that glove to a T, because there's a lot of stupid bullshit in Dragon Ball.
Everyone that died is back, and look, so yeah, so I'm on one hand, I want to watch the cutscenes because like the stuff I've seen on YouTube, like Cell specifically, like literally every day I come into YouTube and the headline is Cell roasts insert another character's name here. Cell roasts this character. Cell roasts this character. Cell's just out here roasting everybody. So
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I wanna check this story out. But at the same time, I really want to play 21. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna focus on the story. I'll not try to rush it.
Hmm.
I'll wait for other people to, because people are still figuring out tech with her, right? So I wait for
Yeah.
people to figure out tech. So once I unlock her, by the time I unlock her, then the tech will be out, so I'll know what I'm practicing to what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
breaking.
yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, like Android 21, man, I'm excited. I'm
It's
really
really
excited.
really cool. Hey, you know what else we can get excited about? So, Blaze Blue XT shit show. Let's jam. All right. So, Blaze Blue, the new cross team battle, release date was set for May 31st. So it said 20 character roster set. You might be thinking, oh, okay, that's kind of small for like a team based game. Well, it's because 20 characters are going to be DLC. And that is just how they are going to do this. And so many thoughts about this go into my mind. Now, first off, I will say this, and it's not much of a positive, is that the game isn't full priced. It's $40 US, which is more like $50 Canadian. So there's that. But the thing about this that is also, for me, it's like, are you fucking serious? And then two, it's like, you don't even have the full fucking Ruby cast. Because Blake was
Yeah,
announced as like that's the part that gets me the most is that you advertise Ruby like Ruby in your game and
yeah,
you literally all you have is Ruby and Weiss. Like I was so excited
yeah,
to see gameplay of Yang because she's the one that is the most fighting game character imaginable.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, when I saw this announcement, I actually laughed. After I got mad, because I remember that one podcast where you were like, oh, I feel like the only characters that are gonna make it in are the main Ruby characters,
Yeah.
and the side ones are going to make it. And I'm like, whoa, Shadow, you gave a little too much credit there.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't even get those. Yeah, this was just okay. So here's the thing. This was a PR design. This was a complete and utter PR disaster. There's no other way of describing this. Arc System just posted on Twitter that they're going to go into more detail about what's going on here, and they posted like last week that yeah, the game isn't going to be full price. The reason why they did this was because they wanted more people to buy the game. So they make the game cheaper, so people can like just, oh, I'm in the store and I have like $20 or however much it is, like $40. I'll just pick
Right.
up this game, whatever. It's not as expensive as a regular game. Oh, I like this game. Okay, then I'll pay maybe, let's say, the extra $20 for the, let's say 25,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
around that.
DLC. Get the full roster of 40, right?
Mhm.
That's what they were going for. If that is the case, first of all, they should have said that with the announcement. Like, don't come out and be like, oh, hey, this is like this game is launching with 20 characters, the rest are going to be DLC. So
Yeah.
because we see that especially in this market, and we're like, okay, so we're paying 70 Canadian, no, 80 Canadian, and then I'm supposed to pay probably 30 for a full roster. Then the other element that pisses people off is, like you said,
Mhm.
it's a crossover with Ruby, and there's only two Ruby characters in the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
X-Men versus Street Fighter, you get Cyclops and you get Jubilee.
No, that's a universe I don't want to be a part of right now.
Like the funny part is that, like, as much as I criticize Infinite, right? At least Infinite went 100%. They were like, no X-Men at all. If they
Yeah.
had been like, okay, here's the thing: if they had announced this game as Blaze Blue versus Unil versus Persona, nobody would be like, why are there no Ruby characters in this game, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Here's the thing that bothers me is that I'm looking at this and I'm just like, ugh. Like it's a bad DLC in this day and age is it's so easy that when you talk about DLC, if you're not careful about it, people are gonna get fucking pissed. And I feel
yeah,
like there's so many companies that don't understand that you have to treat your audience with a certain amount of like respect and maturity when you talk about DLC. because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that it always goes back to the same question. If you're already talking about DLC, then why isn't it in the base game? And I actually had somebody explain a little bit about it, and it was interesting. And he was explaining to me that the thing is that the base game's budget and the DLC budget are two completely different things, and that there is usually a period of time that is set up for the company to work on the base game, and then once the base game is finished, they start using the money that they've pooled together to work on the DLC. And that's usually why there's some games that it feels really fucking bad, right? But with this,
sorry, yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But basically, the thing that bothers me with this is two things. One is that a lot of these are reused assets, and it's a lot of reusing of sprites. It's Yu Narakami's sprite literally pulled from Arena, and it's like you don't really need to be cutting corners when you're already cutting corners.
Exactly. When this game was announced, part of the reason why I wasn't that excited for it was because I looked at it and I was like, they're reusing all the old sprites. The only characters that are going to be new are the Ruby characters.
Yeah. You're just going to sink that wound deeper in. Stop it.
But here's what, like, you make a good point. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, when developers announce. So here's the thing. If Evo Japan is happening right now. Well, not right now. By the time it would have happened like a week ago. But Evo Japan is happening right now. If at Evo Japan, Artsy come out and they announce the first batch of DLC characters for Dragon Ball FighterZ, I won't be mad, because it's like the game is coming out. Well, the game is already out in Japan, so obviously they're done. They're done working on the game, and it's a situation where like we saw the development of the game. When Yamcha and Tien were revealed, they weren't even complete. They were missing assets. Tien didn't have his farewell Tien move where Chiatsu comes out and does the self-destruct. They were missing assets. They were missing voice files. You could tell that these characters were not complete.
Yeah.
However, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, there's a playable version of the game right now with the full roster in it, 5 months before release. And then you're telling me to now pay for 20 characters? And then on top of that, there was the other argument that people made. They were like, yeah, well, sure, this game only has 24 characters, but they're building everything from scratch. It's a brand new engine, brand new models, brand new all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what, you do have a point there. These are brand new characters, right? They're reusing assets here. Okay, sure, maybe they do some like polishing or something like that. But at the end of the day, they're reusing assets. There was a podcast we were on a little while back where I speculated this game is going to have like a 40 character roster at launch, and I felt comfortable saying that because I was like, that well, they're reusing assets. It shouldn't, it's like Marvel 2. That's why Marvel 2 could afford to have a 50 character roster because they just pulled characters from other games and stuck them in.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's not as easy as Marvel 2 because they actually. Like Marvel 2 is actual copy and paste, right?
Yeah.
But here
well, okay, I want to give them. I'll give one thing is that this is a completely different system. So it's not like you can just take a character that was built for Arena and put them into a completely different fighter, and then it's like, hey, just do it. Like, just make it work. Like, I know that there's time and effort, and it does take a lot of recoding. It's just because of how this was handled, like this is a clear example of not to like announce / handle DLC, or because it's a lot of it is about perspective. Because I think about it, if let's say we didn't know that the game was like going to launch like this. Let's say the game came out and it was 20 characters, but that was it. Like, people would be pissed. And then if they slowly added DLC over time, then that hurt would be a lot less painful. But the fact that they announced 20 characters and then they go, oh yeah, 20 more characters, but you're going to have to pay for it all at once in a season pass is way too much. And this is just a prime example. I like how to some people it's like, well, they spent all their money on Dragon Ball, so they had none left for this.
yeah, that would be true where they publishing Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But that's Namco's money. But yeah, no, you're right. This whole situation was handled so poorly. Like 20 characters in a game with reused assets is just too low. Plain and simple, it's too low.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, like, you don't even have Yang and Blake as part of the 20 characters. If Yang and Blake were in there, then you could at least give them that. But I mean, it
Yeah.
would still be disappointing, but you could still give them, like, this was handled the worst way possible. And like it's really disappointing because I was actually excited for this game. Now I'm
Hmm.
definitely not buying. May 31st can kiss my ass, and I'm definitely not buying it on that day.
Yeah.
Like unless this, like, because Arc System came out and said that they have some stuff that they want to say. We should stay tuned. So if they come out and they actually say something of substance as opposed to the usual PR nonsense, oh yeah, this was unacceptable. You know, we wanted people to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Allah,
Get the. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that.
Allah's blanket yeah with your hard-earned cash,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the real fight. The real fighting game begins. Fight to unlock those characters.
But yeah, this is really disappointing. So you know, we'll see how they handle this. But
Yeah.
this
We'll-
was handled as poorly as it could be. So you know,
All right. Now you
let's
know
see.
what's not disappointing. You know what's
my
not
God.
disappointing, and
Oh,
it's fucking the best. Ladies and gentlemen, we give it to you, Nintendo, for starting the future, because the future is now, and the future is cardboard. So Nintendo announced Nintendo Labo, and what may be the most I've never been more like quizzically confused when I saw this live. Like it was just because because here's what happened, right? When I saw them come out with the cardboard and start folding it into like a little piano, I was like, "Oh, they're making like, this is, starting from scratch and build your own experience. Like it's meant to be like thematic and not literal." But then the longer the trailer went on, I was like, "Oh, this is very literal." And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh god, is Nintendo really just selling cardboard?" And and then I saw the box set and I was like, "Yep, this is the universe I'm in now." So the thing about this is that the concept of this is basically you buy a set, a Labo set, and it gives you a bunch of different cardboard cutouts that allows you to customize these like basically think of it as like Wii accessories, right? You can make one that's a
Yeah.
fishing rod, you can make one that's a pedal, like a gas pedal, you can make one that is a piano, you can make one that's a house. So it's meant to be like a toy. And from a marketing perspective, that makes sense, and it's actually a neat idea because it's giving kids. I'm gonna be very upfront. This is obviously not for me. Like this is
Yeah.
really not for me. This is meant for the kids, right? This is meant for. This is, you know what this is to me? This is Nintendo really wanting Wii Sports. They really, really, really want Wii Sports because Wii Sports made them so much money, and it got people who
Yeah.
didn't play video games into playing video games or what, like get their feet wet essentially, right?
Yeah. Do you know what this is to me?
What is it?
This is Nintendo finding a use for all those extra Wii U boxes.
Hey! You get a round of applause for that one because that would actually make sense. That would actually make sense. Those boxes are nice and sturdy. So the thing about this is that there's a couple things that I want to point out about this. Okay, it's an interesting idea. I'll give it that. It's a creative idea, and I like the fact that it gives like the part where it's like the kid is drawing on it and using markers. I was like, okay, you're promoting creativity. I will give you
Yeah.
that. That's fine. But immediately I'm thinking to myself is that okay, one, how much does it cost? Well, you get the game and the set, and it's around $70, right? So then the question goes, how much is the game? Because if the game is worth $30 or $40, am I just paying $20 for cardboard? Like is that what is actually happening right now? And then the second question goes, this is how the line of questions goes. Okay, this is meant for kids. How durable do you think this cardboard is going to be? Because I don't know about you, but kids wreck shit really fast. They wreck plastic things really fast. They wreck sturdy things really fast. So you telling me that I'm supposed to give my kid this cardboard and go, yeah, you won't break it? Like I have confidence in your abilities to not break this immediately. So I immediately think like it's gonna break. Like this is gonna be the fastest breaking thing imaginable, because unless the material is unless this cardboard is really good, which I am very skeptical about, it's gonna break. And then somebody also pointed out, and it led to one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen about this, in which how long is it going to take for the PDFs online where it's like, buy the game, don't buy the cardboard. Like, buy a used copy of the Labo disc, and then go to your local Food Basics, ask for boxes, and make your own. Because and just skip the whole process. And then that was responded with, like, because yeah, like, why would you ever buy replacements when you could literally just go get cardboard for free? And then that was led by the response of, like, don't worry, Nintendo's got you, because they're going to be posting free PDFs of how to replace it if you choose to do so with your own cardboard. And I'm like, what fucking universe is this?
I don't even. This is like, it's one of those things that I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. You know, it's just one of those things that I don't understand. Have I mentioned that I don't understand what's going on here? Like, it's just okay. That's really just my reaction. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. Really, it's like you look at this and it's you're either hyped because you're excited for all the goofy accessories and possibilities that this can create. And there's a lot of kids. It's interesting because there's a lot of positivity with this announcement, and I can see where it's coming from, for sure. And I know that it's not for me, and I could see a kid seeing this, like, under the Christmas tree, and then going nuts. Because it's like, oh, yeah. I can play the piano, or like, oh, I can drive a car, or I can, like, shoot a gun or something like that, right? Okay, well, that's a bit of
I laughed at that, right? Literally a couple hours ago, I was in class and we were watching a PSA about the Sandy Hook shooting.
Oh,
so just hearing you say that after that just made me laugh.
Oh,
I was
God.
like, oh boy, I can shoot a gun.
Oh God. Okay, I realized that the dark turn those words. Oh, okay. Anyway. Oh Christ. But it's just, for me, it's like there's a lot of problems with this, and I know that I hope that this will at least make Nintendo some money, but this will not last. Like, it can't.
The one thing that I don't want to say worried me, but the one thing I got from watching that trailer is it just reminded me so much of the Kinect trailers, right?
Oh,
you know, the Kinect trailers where you watch people and someone is doing surgery with Kinect.
Oh God damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah, this dude is actually doing surgery. He has Kinect and he's using it to, like, look through X-ray.
Fawaz. You are the controller.
If my surgeon pulled out a Kinect, I would get up, seal myself up, and leave immediately.
Just fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh my God. But yeah, it just reminded me too much of the Kinect. Because, it's one of those things that looks really cool in a commercial, but in practice, it doesn't work that well. So we'll see. We'll see how well it works in practice. If it does work well in practice, again, this can be something really cool for kids, Like, I would have loved something like this when I was younger.
Yeah.
Of course, we just made our own cardboard boxes, and we didn't have to pay, $400 in total for a console.
It's $70 to $80, but it's. Like I said, I can see where a kid could see this and they would be all on board for it. And there is a lot of creativity. I will say this, though. It's funny you mentioned the Kinect. It probably would work better than the Kinect because it's a physical thing that you use and you're not just waving your hands around like a fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah. Definitely better than the Kinect. Because Kinect's biggest issue was the lack of force feedback, right?
Yeah.
You're standing there waving, and then when you feel force feedback, it's because you accidentally smacked your little brother across the face. But with this one, I'm just gonna take the wait and see. Just gotta take the wait and see approach here. It does have potential.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this being a really fun thing for kids.
Yeah.
But we'll see. What's it? Nintendo Log? What was that?
Labo. That's what it's called.
Okay.
We shall see. But the last thing we got on our list, Street Fighter V.
Yeah,
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
A game I should have taken the wait and see approach with.
I see. All right, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. It finally launches. Take it away, because you probably know more than I do about this.
I love the enthusiasm in his voice.
Listen. I am more than happy to talk about this game, and I'm happy that we can finally talk about Street Fighter V in a positive light for a fucking change.
Yeah. So yeah, Arcade Edition has launched, and it is what Street Fighter V should have been at launch. But at the end of the day, whatever, that ship has sailed. Let's just focus on the positives right now. So it's everything that people wanted. It's also added some new things. So there's one really cool thing that they added actually to training mode where you can. So there's this thing called frame advantage, right? In fighting games, and it pretty much just means if I make you block a move,
Yeah.
how much advantage does that give me? So if I block this move, does it allow me to make you to keep doing stuff? Because there's something that if you block a dragon punch, for example, I can't do anything after, because I'm still recovering, and then you punish me on the way down, right?
Right.
But then there's certain moves that if I make you block them, like I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but yeah, if I make you block them, then it gives me a lot of advantage. So there's a thing in training mode where it color codes the characters, right? So the characters are red when they don't have frame advantage, and they're blue when they do. So you can run tests of certain block strings to see if there's gaps. Because, that's the thing, that a lot of times people get away with doing block strings that aren't tight. There's gaps in there that you can just, dragon punch through, or just run, or just throw, or, mash. So you can test stuff like that. They added they added something that I think you'll actually be pretty excited for. So, I forget what this thing is called. It's like a, there's this thing that you one moment, just give extra battle mode. That's the word. So this extra battle mode. So how it works is that you pay a certain amount of fight money, and then you so it costs 2,500 fight money.
Okay.
And you go in and you do a challenge, right? There's an opponent in the game mode that you have to defeat, and if you defeat them, you unlock a specific costume that is exclusive to that like I said, limited edition costume you can only get during that period. When they announced the mode, they announced it with a beautiful Joe costume for Rashid. However, today, right before we record the podcast, they revealed 3 skins for Ken, Armika, and Ibuki. And it is a Rathalos armor skin for
Ken. Yeah!
What's this one called again? The unicorn...
Oh, Kieran.
Kieran armor for Ibuki, and a Zenogre, I probably didn't pronounce
Zenogre
outfit for Armika that looks so good. I might actually...
Okay, wait, fuck. I need to see this. I need to see this right now. Okay, Zenogre...
Check out the links. I put so much...
Okay, listen. There's a lot of shit. Zenogre Armika, because that sounds ridiculous. Oh, God, that looks fucking dope. Oh, yeah. Jesus, that looks dope. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, when is this available? So, it becomes available on the 27th of February until... Okay, no, the Ken one is available on the 27th of February till the 3rd of March. Armika, that's the one that matters, is March 8th to March 25th. And so there's 2 challenges. The first challenge gets you the first piece of gear, and the second challenge is March 15th to March 22nd, which gives you the second piece of gear. I am going to do this. Straight up, I'm going to re-download the game. I'm going to download the patch. It's 20 gigs. I actually had the game still downloaded, and I was going to download the patch. Then I started to download, and I'm like, yeah, that's not happening.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
This skin is incredible. So I mean, I love me some Armika, So I'm definitely going to re-download the game, if only to get this skin and then delete the game off my hard drive right after.
God damn it! That infuriates me so much. Why would you go through all the trouble of getting the skin just to delete the game? Because you're not gonna use the skin then.
I might use it at some. Here's the thing, right? I may or may not ever play this game again, right? If I do play this game again, then I will always want this.
Shit, because now I'm considering shit. Do I need to go back and get that fucking Monster Hunter skin? God Damn it.
exactly.
Because now I'm at the moment where it's like I can't go back. I'm gearing up for Dragon Ball. I can't do two fighters.
Like, this is me playing Street Fighter 5. This is me playing Street Fighter 5 for a day or two or a week at most to try to get this Armita skin, get the skin, and then delete the game and go back to play Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's basically. So I'm just gonna skip that process and probably just stick with Dragon Ball. But it's really, really cool. I like the idea of these little challenges because it gives one of the things that it does. I think is really a great idea is that it encourages players to come back because there's a lot of games in which you play for a while and then you drop off. But if you have these challenges that give you cool, interesting rewards, and these skins look freaking dope, it's similar. It's similar to the Overwatch events. You know, where it's like I drop playing Overwatch and there's a new event. All right, cool. I'll jump back right now and see what's up. So honestly, like everything they've shown about Arcade Edition, I think has been really, really good and a really, really solid package overall. So. I think it's one of those things, it's weird things where it's like if you were really, you know, on the fence about getting Street Fighter 5, but you were interested in it, now is literally the best time to do so.
Yeah, this is the best time. Like, if you buy Street Fighter Arcade Edition, first of all, the Arcade Edition patch is free, so, you know, shout out to them for that. It's all the stuff that you can do it for free, just download the patch. But if you haven't, you know, taken the dive, you can buy Arcade Edition. It's for a reduced price. I don't know how much exactly, but it's for a reduced price. And you get all the DLC characters up until this point. You get a bunch of costumes. I don't know if you get all the costumes or you get a bunch of costumes. And if you actually like Street, because here's the thing, some people just don't like Street Fighter 5. Like the gameplay is just not for them. That is fine. But if you like Street Fighter 5 and you just didn't want to buy it because you know it was an incomplete game at launch, which it was, now there's never been a better time. This is awesome. The Ken Rathalos skin isn't the greatest, but there's never been a better time to hop back in, and good shit, Capcom. This actually segues really well into our question of the day from the lovely J Streets.
Shout out to J Streets.
There it is. So J Streets asks, has Capcom turned over a new leaf in terms of service and quality in light of Monster Hunter World and AE releases? Well, what month are we? January? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite launched 4 months ago, so I'm gonna say no.
That's honest, yeah.
So here's the thing, Monster Hunter World, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's never been any issues with Monster Hunter.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Monster Hunter. The thing about this Monster Hunter in particular is that this Monster Hunter is so insanely fucking good. Monster Hunter World is kind of like if the real sequel to Pokemon actually came out, right? It's kind of like Pokemon has stayed the same and Monster Hunter has stayed the same for so long, like overall for the longest time, that it's like it's good, but you're playing the same game. With this, it was such a massive overhaul, and the amount of quality of life, I keep stressing this, the amount of quality of life design philosophies that are in this game are astronomical. And to the point where it defies belief when this game is essentially very briefly changed and stayed relatively the same for 15 years. So it was like awe-inspiring when I saw this get revealed. And Arcade Edition is like a really, really good package. The thing about it is that I don't really think it's more that they turned over a new leaf. I think it's more that Capcom realized that they were fucking up for the last 2 years and they really needed to kind of get back in the good graces of the community. So I don't really think it's more turning a new leaf as more that we really need to get our shit together because we're losing money fast.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say, exactly with you. I won't say it's turning over a new leaf because, and it's funny that I'm going to say that because it was Jason who put this idea in my head, right? Because I'll give them credit for AE, which I do think they deserve some credit for. However, he said, okay, but maybe part of the reason why AE looks so good is because Street Fighter 5 was so lacking at launch. And I'm like, that's actually a very good point. Because then I thought about it and I was like, what does Street Fighter 5 AE have that it doesn't, that most fighting games like Guilty Gear didn't have at launch? not a whole lot.
Mhm.
So this is just a situation where they set the expectation so low with Street Fighter 5 that when AE comes out, it's like, wow, good shit, Capcom. When in reality, it's like, okay, so this game is what it should have been 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
you know, once again, these situations are always tricky because it's like, at the end of the day, I still want to give you credit for fixing, because there's not a lot of money in fixing a game, right?
Yeah.
There's just not. So if a company fixes a game, it's to save face, so which is fine. You know, like I appreciate that. I appreciate you putting the effort in
Yeah.
to save face. So the fact that they put the time in and they put the effort in to make to fix the issues with the game deserves some credit, but I wouldn't go as far as to say they turned over a new leaf. If they announce Devil May Cry 5 and let me think, Onimusha 4, and both games come out and they're not like train wrecks, then then their last four releases will be Monster Hunter World, AE, and then like Devil May Cry 5 and Onimusha 4.
Yeah.
And all those games, they need to put a couple more games together.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
row.
I agree. I agree. The one thing I will say is also very important. It's not that they need to put more games together. It's like, all right, the last couple years have been rough, right? And now we see them turning a new leaf. We've got two really good releases. Monster Hunter World is getting great reviews, and Arcade Edition I cannot tell you how fucking happy I am to see Monster Hunter World getting top tier reviews right now. It is insane. So, Arcade Edition is released and has done really well and has been positively received. So now the question is, is this going to be the scenario similar to how I feel about with Destiny, in which the game came out poor, you fixed it, and I'm glad that you did, but then the next release of that game or series is a train wreck and you didn't learn any of your lessons.
Exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. I was like, if Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had been a successful launch, then I would have been more inclined to say yes, they've turned a new leaf, and Street Fighter 5 was the exception, not the rule.
Mm-hmm.
But because Infinite showed a lot of the same mistakes that they made with AE, in fact, Infinite was probably an even worse launch than Street Fighter.
Yeah,
5.
I'm gonna honestly say yeah. I think Infinite was way worse because at the very least, I felt like people with Street Fighter 5 at least had, they were like the game itself felt more like there were less, because the problem is that like it always comes back to the presentation of Infinite
Presentation.
and how the fact that it was so flawed and Infinite was way more damaging than the lack of content in
Exactly.
5.
Exactly. So I'd give them a little bit more time, a couple more games. If of the next 3 games, two have good launches and one is bad, then I'd be more inclined to say they turned over a new leaf. If their next fighting game launches and it launches, like an actual fucking fighting game at launch and not an open beta, then I'll be like that. Okay, sure, maybe they have turned over a new leaf. But as of right now, no, they've just done. You don't get You don't get brownie points for doing what you were supposed to do. This was what they were supposed to do 2 years ago. So you're not gonna get brownie points for that. Monster Hunter World, on the other hand, give them all the credit.
Yeah.
No microtransactions, and this is a game that just begs for microtransactions.
Oh yeah, I was shocked. And okay, there is DLC, but it's cosmetic and it's not even for like armors. It's hilarious. The only DLC that I've heard even talked about, the paid DLC, is you know how there's that one girl the tutorial girl who basically gives you your quests. You can basically buy costumes for her. So because every Monster Hunter game has like a different like basically guild handler, which is basically a girl that gives you quests. And like there's 1 in 3 that had like a kind of like, white leathers and red like kind of like almost like Valentine's Day themed look to her. And then there was another one that looked a lot more scholarly, like a librarian. So you can buy costumes to basically make her look like that if you wanted to. And that's like all the monsters are going to be free. All the quests are going to be free. If they add new maps, I'm assuming that they're going to be free as well. Honestly, this is the weird thing where I don't think they're going to add new maps, but I think they're definitely going to be new monsters down the road. And
they've already announced one new monster.
Well, yeah, the pickle, of course.
So there's going to be more. And then if at some point they decide to do like an expansion pack, then I'm fine with paying for that.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't do that because that would kind of. I feel like it would splinter the community a bit, but
Mm.
I like apparently the plan going forward. I don't know if they're gonna stick to this. The plan going forward is that they're just gonna keep adding new monsters to this game.
Okay.
That is going to be instead of doing one big expansion in which they add like a bunch of monsters at once, it's just gonna be slowly over time.
Okay.
So I think that's the better way to do it. But yeah, so this will be interesting to see if Capcom will kind of rise from the depths that they've kind of fallen. And this is
Hey, but this is a good start to 2018 for them. You know, like
Yeah.
this is a very good start. You drop Monster Hunter World and Street Fighter 8E in the same month. I know there's rumors that they're gonna announce Devil May Cry 5 this year, so you know we'll see. We'll see if that turns out and if they actually give us Devil May Cry 5 versus Dante and his bullshit. Right.
Fuck.
Less about that, the better. But like this is a good start to the year for them. Let's see if they can carry on the momentum. They also had Resident Evil 7 last year, which is a really good game. So,
Yeah. Resident Evil 7 was actually fantastic. Like, so that's why I'm there's possibility. There really is. There really is. But yeah, no, if you got a question for us, don't forget to leave it in the comment section, and we'll make sure to answer it in the next podcast. And as always, this is your host, Ryan Liberty, and
go ahead, Muhammad.
we'll see you guys next time. Take care.